it's Sunday afternoon and I'm getting ready to start doing some dinner. So we've just been out for a lovely walk. We've done the Tarka Trail in North Devon, which is really lovely, really pleasant because you don't get covered in mud, which is really nice, and you go over the viaducts and the bridges and you've got the water all below, and we saw some herons and some birds feeding, and oh, it was lovely, really nice. Anyway, we've come home and it's made me feel really sort of wintry, and we've got the heating on and we're all cosy inside, so it's like, I'm going to do my red cabbage. So I have got some sweet sultanas, and I've got a couple of red apples, and of course my cabbage, along with some salt and pepper, some red wine vinegar, some fry light. I've got the butter variety for this, so make it nice and buttery tasting. Some bay leaves and some cumin, cinnamon sticks and ground cinnamon. So to start off, I'm going to spray my pan. Get this going. And give it quite a generous spray of my oil and get my heat on just to warm that through, and then I'm going to chop up my cabbage. I'm going to cut it in half and then slice it quite finely, and then I'll come back to you. So I'm just going to spray the top of my cabbage, which I've cut up and put into my big frying pan. And then I didn't cut the whole thing up, I've cut back a quarter for something else. And then in with this, I'm going to give it a good shake. Whoop daisy. Give it a good shake. And I'm going to add some of my other ingredients. So I've got 1 tablespoon measurement, and I'm going to pour in 3 good tablespoons of my red wine vinegar, and then I'm going to add the rest of my ingredients. This is that's 1 1/4, really? What? No, that's a quarter teaspoon. What's that? 1 teaspoon. Oh, it's not going to fit in. Right, tip it in. So I've got a teaspoon and a bit of cumin. I'm going to put a couple of bay leaves in there, which I will remove. So 3 bay leaves. I'm going to put a cinnamon stick. And some ground cinnamon. I'm going to put 3 teaspoons of ground cinnamon, some salt and some pepper. Wow, that's a pile of crap, isn't it? Oh my God! So obviously when you make yours, make sure your bally pepper top is on. I can see Susan and bloody Sally laughing, pissing their pants at that one. Because I would be if I was sat watching it and someone else had just done that. Oh, I'm not throwing it away. I've retrieved as many peppercorns as I can. Oh, we'll just have to be careful we don't crunch onto peppercorns. I'll just take out as many as I can. Honestly, it's going to happen. It'll happen to me. Guaranteed. Absolutely guaranteed. Oh dear. Right, I think I've got most of them out. I shan't be putting any more pepper in this, put it that way. So, final thing, all I've got to add now is some sultanas, which I'm going to put 2 handfuls of sultanas. Give that a mix up. Then I'm going to put the lid on this and I'm going to let it cook for 25 minutes and I'm going to stir it every 5 minutes. So I should do that, and when I've done that I will come back to you. In my haste I forgot to put the apple in. So I'm just going to quickly, this is turning into a disaster, isn't it? Hopefully you're keeping up with me. Oh God. So I'm just going to quickly I'm not going to do it like that. I'm just going to chop up some apple. And the apple will give it the sweetness so that you don't have to put loads of brown sugar in it, because that's not really what you want to be doing. So the 2 apples will give it all the sweetness that it requires. So there you go. I've also added a little bit of water, just so it doesn't stick, and you can see I've got some nice juice down the bottom there. So that's now going to have a lid on it. I'm going to turn it right down and I'm going to let that simmer nicely for another 20 minutes. So my second red cabbage, hopefully this won't be quite so disastrous, is going to be for tomorrow's lunch. So it's going to be more of a cold recipe, and what you're going to need is 3 carrots, a satsuma. I'm going to put in some prunes, some ready to eat prunes, and I've got some pecans and some fresh ginger, and of course my red cabbage, which is 1/4 of a red cabbage. I've got some pepper, some Himalayan salt, and I've got a little bit of Japanese rice wine vinegar. So I'm going to cut up my red cabbage, and I'm going to grate my carrots, and then I'll come back to you in a minute. So here's my carrot and my red cabbage, which I have just grated and shredded. And then I have got some ginger, fresh ginger, and I'm just going to put in about 1 inch grated of my fresh ginger, and that will give it a nice little bit of warmth as well as flavour. So there we go. And then I've got my orange, and I've peeled it and cut the segments into halves. And I'll pop those in. I've got my prunes, which I've also chopped up, and I've got some grated zest off the orange, and that's going in as well. Give that a bit of a mix up, mix it all in. There we go. And then I'm going to season that with my salt and pepper and a little bit of Japanese rice wine, and I'm going to put in one, 2 tablespoons of my Japanese rice wine. Oh, just going to check my pepper pot before I use it. It's not the best one. I got this in Lidl's. Should not be getting one from there again. A little bit of salt. Give that a final mix up. And then I will boil some eggs up, and I'll do 2 eggs each, and I will put this into a container, Oh, nearly forgot my pecans. Put my little pecans on top. And then this will be divided into 2 containers with a couple of hard-boiled eggs on top, and that will be lunch for tomorrow. So it'll be quite a lot, but that will be what we have for lunch. There's no sort of potatoes or pasta or rice or anything, so there needs to be quite a bit there to make sure it's fulfilling. So yeah, so that's a good lunch idea, a really cheap lunch idea as well. I think you'll agree, and something a little bit different. And I think once you add the eggs on there, that'll make it give it another dimension really as well. So I'll give it a little taste. So I'll get some of the pecan and the cabbage. That's lovely with the ginger. You can taste the ginger. It's not overpowering. Really tasty. The prune. Love prunes. Makes it juicy. Really warming. Crunchy. Fresh. Something different, you know, than a lettuce and tomato and cucumber. Hope you give it a go. I really do. Because that is really nice. So, my first recipe of red cabbage. Let's just check how that's getting on. That's braising nicely. And it's all starting to cook down. I'm going to add a little bit of water to that. Just a little bit. And put my lid on. And you can cook this for as long as you want, you know, as long as you just keep stirring it. Once it's to consistency that you like and you want it. I mean, you could take it as far as a chutney consistency. I mean, I don't want it that far because I want it as a cabbage, you know, as a vegetable accompaniment. But yeah, make sure you take your bay leaves out and your cinnamon when you're finished. You don't want to be chowing down on that. But that's how it's looking so far. It's coming on nicely. Keep that on the low heat, and I will come back in about 10 minutes. And so it's finished. So there's my braised red cabbage with apple and sultanas, and I hope you agree that it looks very colourful and it tastes really warming. I'll just give it a try. The cabbage is soft, the apple is soft, it's really warm with the spices and wintry. And it tastes very autumnal, very nice, you know, with a winter's kick, very nice. We're having that tonight with some chicken, and I'm doing some creamy mashed potatoes to go with that, so that's for tea tonight. And I've got plenty. I've put the rest of it in a bag, as you can see, which I'm going to freeze down, and so we've got another load for another night. I can just get it out of the freezer and it's already done. Beautiful. And then this is tomorrow's lunch. So, you know, red cabbage can't get more exciting or prettier, I think, than that. Really tasty orange pecan, prunes, eggs, carrots and red cabbage. Very nice. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Even my pepper mishap. And I hope you've had a good weekend. Anyway, give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. If you didn't, jog on. See ya.